In this episode of Pop Culture Weekly, I talk to the queens from the brand new horror film Scre on Tubi. Let's go!
Welcome to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon from iHeartRadio. Your pop culture news, views, reviews, and celebrity interviews on all the movies, TV, music, and pop culture you crave weekly. Here's Kyle McMahon.
Hello and welcome to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon. I, of course, am Kyle McMahon, and I'm excited that you're hanging out with me once again for all things pop culture. This episode is a fun one because it is all about the brand new horror film Scre on Tubi. What's interesting and unique about this horror film is it stars some real queens. And when I say that, I mean, of course, drag queens. And so today I talk with Heidi in Closet and Crystal Methyd, who star in the film. The log line for Scre says 4 drag queens booked at the wrong venue managed to win over an unfriendly crowd when they become the dive bar's defenders against a vampire attack. It is a really fun, funny horror movie. You know I love horror. I love my horror. I love my bad horror. I love my good horror. I love amazing horror. I love all kinds of horror for, reasons. This is very campy, very funny. It's got some incredible kills. It is also very smart. And there's a social commentary going on there, too, that I really enjoy. I sometimes like some social commentary in my horror. And Scre doesn't disappoint. In fact, it's really, really great. I highly recommend you see it. I can't wait till you hear my interviews with 2 of the queens of Scre. And then let me know what you think when you watch it on Tubi. So, without further ado, let's just hop right into it, all right? Here is my interview with Heidi in Closet and Crystal Methyd. Thank you both for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Kyle. Thank you for having us. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Blessed and highly favored and a movie star.
Movie stars are ready for midnight.
How excited are you?
I would say about a 20 out of 10 for sure. Like just bubbling over, like ecstatic excitement.
Like we were just talking to someone else and they said they'd seen the movie already, and we were like, "What? We're like dying for this."
Yes. I saw a screener of it, and it is amazing as I expected it to be. I can't wait for everybody to see it. For both of you, well, first of all, I got to ask. I heard that there was a funny drag moment earlier today.
Yes, we both showed up not in drag today.
Yes, I just got turned to a vampire, and we're waiting to do Heidi's makeup later.
So that's what's going on. That's what's happening today.
She's the before, I'm the after.
A great late person once told me, we're all born naked and the rest is drag. So technically I'm in drag. Technically.
I love that. Say that. I love that. What I find really interesting about this film on a deeper level actually is that traditionally, and I'm kind of stereotyping here, but who your characters are kind of forced to defend yourselves with are people that you would think stereotypically not be accepting of the culture. And I thought that was very poignant because it's almost like, well, when you're in survival mode, do you care about, how somebody dresses or whatever? Is that something that spoke to both of you, when making the film, when thinking about doing the film?
For me, it really hit home. I am a Black gay man from the South, so I grew up being in that kind of like, I'm the different person, I get treated differently, and this, that, and the third. So being able to be a part of something that shows us though we're different in a positive light and manner in helping people, it really hit home for me. I was like, this is great. This is beautiful.
Yeah, we're both from red states, and like same for me. And that's one of my favorite things about drag in the first place is I was always like really active in my community because I feel like once people just get to see you and know you and like kind of have an understanding of it, even though it's like very creepy in the beginning, they just are able to see you more as a person. So that's like exactly what happens in the film. You're totally right. Like in survival mode, we all have to lean on each other.
It doesn't matter where we come from, what we look like, what we're doing. It's all about coming together and making things work.
I love that.
Kind of like Tim Gunn, making it work.
I love that. And, watching the film, another thing that I think, and this again is on kind of a deeper level, in my opinion, I was talking to DeWanda Wise recently, who stars in Imaginary, a strong black woman, incredible actor. And I talk to Elvira pretty much every October for the show, who is, the queen of Halloween. And with DeWanda and with Elvira, her and I were talking about how for a long time it was like just like Oscar So White, it was horror so white. And especially in the last 10 years or so, there's been a marked shift in that. Now you see all sorts of people represented in horror. And for me, I'm a huge horror buff, and I think that horror is an excellent place. It's almost like a safe place for anybody. Come as you are. And audiences don't care. We just want a great horror film or a campy horror film or a bad horror film. Like, it doesn't matter. We just love horror. And and so it's an awesome place, in my opinion, for people to be represented. And then you go see it on a big on the big screen, or you go see see the streaming exclusive film or whatever it is, where that hasn't always historically happened. And horror, in a lot of ways, has allowed that. Do you think that there is a correlation there with horror and underrepresented communities for you? Like, are you seeing that shift as people in underrepresented communities traditionally?
I would say so, yeah. Growing up, definitely I saw it was very, very, very white, yes, for sure. And seeing such... The thing is, the world doesn't care if you're black, if you're white, if you're gay, if you're not. The world is going... bad things are going to happen in the world. We all going to go through strifes and struggles and stuff, and I think horror exemplifies that to the max, really. And it's now that it's shifting to showing that everyone goes through these same struggles, people can see like, hey, we're all not that different because we all go through these same struggles.
And I think that like queer people have this love of horror, and so it's cool to have this movie that kind of highlights queer people, but is for everyone. It's very like Tu Wong Fu, Blade. Like, it's really campy still, but there's still all of those like shocking
tension,
like all the fun stuff you still want in a good horror movie. So yeah, it's just like horror is so unifying.
It's just crazy because it scares me so much. I'm a big scaredy cat myself, so I'm really thrilled about it.
Are you a horror fan?
I'm more the type, like, I have to have people to protect me to watch horror. But I will watch. I'm very much the person.
I'm here, baby.
Thank you. I'm the person that talks in the theater to the thing. Don't go with Barry Brenda from a scary movie. Don't go in there. Ooh, that's me. Love them, but terrified by them as well.
And then you have creators like, Jordan Peele, who is one of my absolute favorites, who is empowering traditionally underrepresented people to, besides his own incredible work. And to me, he's already a legend with the films that he's done. But he's empowering and giving a voice to other underrepresented people in his space too. And it's like, if Jordan Peele is, endorsing you, like, the industry is going to pay attention. And I think it's so important. And I also think a film like Slay, where it is universal in so many ways, and you can go and watch it and laugh and be scared, but it also has some social commentary. Like, it's very smart, and I love that about Slay.
Self-aware.
Yeah, we love intellectual humor.
We might not be very intellectual, but we love intellectual humor for sure.
Yes, and when I'm with intellectuals and they're joking, I just laugh because even if I don't know what they're saying, I'm just like, oh, and then I Google it later,
Right, exactly.
How fun was it to make this? I mean, because, you're performers, by trade anyway. But this is like, in my opinion, is like a different kind of performance, I would think, where, you're not playing to an audience that's necessarily there in front of you. You are not, I would assume most of it was scripted, if not all of it. It seems like it's just a different avenue. So how was that for you to do like a feature film like this?
It was like, that is the biggest difference, is like normally when we're performing, there's people right there to be like, woo, good job. Whereas like, when you're acting to the camera,
there's no one there to tell you that was good. Well, until after cut.
Until you're like done with
and then you've already done. So I'm like, well, I hope it was good. It's very different.
But it was so great because our director, Jim, like, I feel like, they wrote the script. They had a really good handle on everything. They like guided us and told us exactly how they wanted things to be. And so
I also feel like we could kind of feel the energy. It's almost like an energy in the room, like when things were going well. It's like, oh, this is going great. And then when we're just like, hot boo-boo messing and can't get through the lines because we're laughing too much, we knew. So,
was there a lot of fun on set?
So honestly, I had some of the best times on set, like our lunch breaks.
Oh my
conversation.
Yes, it was just really fun to have 4 drag queens highlighted as the stars of the show. Number 1 on the trailer. Like just to be treated like superstars and to like just have fun with the crew and like.
The thing is, everyone was so kind and everyone was so like up. I think it was that we were all there to make magic, and I think we all understood that, and I think that's why we all had such a great time doing it, because we're all here just having a good time and making something incredible. So let's just do it to the best and just have a good time while doing it.
Yeah. I think some of the people were expecting the queens to be like divas.
Trinity.
Which sometimes maybe we were, but I feel like for the most part it was like very chill, fun. For sure.
It was very good energy and very just a fun environment to be in.
How different is it for you? And again, I'm assuming I've never done drag, but I've been to shows and all, and so I'm assuming like when you're performing on a stage, like you have to be on, and there is a live audience there, and you're feeding off of their energy, and I'm sure that drives you even more and all. How is it when you are having to do like cuts and that sort of thing, or do another take or whatever? Is it hard to kind of put out that performance when you're used to getting that direct feedback, like immediate feedback?
I mean, I feel like it was for me, but not for Heidi. Because Heidi is a star.
Oh
she was acting. She was like crying a single tear, like only like real actresses can do.
I was feeling honestly, when we were filming, I was feeling my whole fantasy on set. It was, because I feel like when you're performing in front of people, there is like that instant gratification and instant like you feel the energy, you can bounce it back, and you're very like you got to be on it. And when we're filming, you have to be within that character, and you have to feel what that character would feel, and you have to react in a way that person would react,
and
not how you would
be
react.
Okay with jumping into the character and then
and
back out and in and out.
Yes.
So yeah, that was the difficult part for me.
For me, it was fun being able to just like, okay, I have to cry now. Let's do it. Let's cry.
Did you ever, in your early lives, imagine, that one day you would be, not just on TV, but now in a feature film? Like, was that ever like, I'm going to do that? Or did you just kind of go for the ride, and here we are in a big horror movie.
Well, yes, of course. Honestly, for me personally, I did. Growing up, I was like, I feel like I meant to do something bigger than, because I lived in a very small town, so I was like, there has to be more to the world than this. And I was like, I meant to do something. I didn't know what it was. It definitely did. I didn't think it was going to be cross-dressing for Jesus all these many years, but here we are. And it took me to a horror film and all these other great things.
I think that, yeah, like as a drag queen, you have to be delusional enough to think that like you're a star and that you're like, we're meant for something.
It's like base requirement.
So I always did want to be, I don't think I ever saw myself in a horror movie. I just saw myself in like a rom-com, but you did have some romance.
I did have a little bit of romance. It was
but no, yeah, this was like, I didn't realize I wanted to be an actress until we were done with this movie, and I was like, oh, I want to do that again.
I want to do it again too. I was like, oh my god, I'm having so much fun. This is like incredible.
I love that. And as you're filming, now obviously it's wrapped, it's getting ready to premiere. When you saw the final cut, what were you thinking? Like, were you like, holy crap, like, that's me?
We haven't seen the final cut yet.
We're gonna see it tonight at midnight with our Tubi accounts. We are so excited.
Streaming on Tubi. We're gonna watch it tonight. So.
Wow. Okay, that's super. That's awesome. So you have no idea.
We're just going off of the trailer. We're just going off the trailer looks lovely.
And we looked really good. So
I thought the trailer was lovely.
The trailer is. I do. And the film is. I'm telling you, I really loved it.
Can't wait.
And so, do you have any special plans for tonight? You getting popcorn or vodka or what's going on?
I might see if a couple of my friends want to come over and just like watch us hamper down and watch a scary movie together.
Staying up late, popping that popcorn. I'm going to Vegas, but
she's going to Vegas.
I'm going to take a break from gambling and tipping the strippers to watch my new film.
Of course. Streaming where?
On Tubi.
I cannot believe that like you're so nonchalant about this. You're like, I might, I'll take a break from tipping the strippers and watch my film. Or
she's kind of a legend. She's kind of an icon.
And even you, Heidi, like I'll probably call some friend. Like what? Like you aren't like a month ago, okay, on this day you are not doing anything because we're watching my freaking movie that's premiering. Like, how are you so nonchalant?
I probably should have been like that. Probably.
I think that like maybe drag queens aren't very good planners.
We have to have people plan for us, and then we're more executors than planners.
Okay. All right. What was the most fun moment for both of you on set?
My fight scene, I would say, was probably my favorite time on set. I really got to get in there because I wanted it to look real. I was like, look, I talked to the people who we were fighting. I was like, look, throw me. I want this to be real. Let's do it. If we're gonna do it, let's do it. Go. And we did. So I was living.
Well, I really didn't get to be behind the camera to watch that much. And so there's one day when I got to just watch some of Trinity's scenes and I was just like, I can't believe this is real. I was like, I'm so glad that I was one of the first people that got to see this footage.
Right. I still have some footage on my phone from getting a couple records and stuff. I'm like, ah.
So I that's why I'm so excited to see the final product because I remember all the magic in my mind.
The bar.
And I just want to see it all come together.
So, because we also film out of order, too. So it's we don't film from start to finish. So it's one day we're at the end of the movie and the next day we're back to the top. And I'm like, okay, well, we don't even know where these go. Great. So it's going to be nice to see them. It's going to be nice to see them flow from one to the other.
And this is sort of tongue in cheek, but you are officially Scream Queens now.
Yes, yeah, we are.
Just like Emma Roberts.
Oh my, are we? Up there with.
You are the stars of a horror film. That automatically makes you Scream Queens. And then wow. I think technically now you could be the queens of the Scream
Of Scream
Queens.
Queens.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's going,
title on
that's-
title on title.
That is going in my little bio on all my platforms. The Queen of Scream Queens.
What was the rap like for you? Like when you were done, were you like exhausted, exhilarated, all of the above? Were you like, I just shot a freaking horror movie?
It was
We
a
were just
lot
getting right
of
back to work.
Honestly, we had to go
I
back
had
to
to leave
tour.
early
Oh, wow.
because I had to go do some shows back in the States. And so I think at the actual rap party, it was my stunt double.
Yeah, we shut down without Crystal. She left just a couple days early. When I rapped, it was just a lot of emotions. It was a lot of it was very much like, because we kind of became really close knit, because you're surrounded by these people for like the amount of time that you're filming, and those are the only people really you're seeing for that most amount of time. So it's like,
Yeah.
you become close, and it's, all of a sudden it's over. It's like, oh, it's kind of sad. I remember I was crying on my final night. I was like, oh.
On my last day on set, my heel broke right after
It was a
we cut the
sign.
cameras,
I
and it
remember
was like,
that.
Whoa.
I was like, it knew you were done.
perfect timing.
You're done. And you were.
And I'm being spoiler free, traditionally in so many horror films, it always, ultimately ends up becoming a franchise, whether it's, a prequel or a sequel or a reimagining or, set in the same universe. Is there possibilities for Slay 2 or Slay Harder or whatever?
Oh, come on, Slay Hard.
Okay, well, we fully were on set being like, coming up with ideas for the name of the sequel. We're like, so we're getting a sequel, right? So
We were convinced the entire movie.
you couldn't tell us we weren't getting a sequel already. So we're like, we're definitely getting one.
Zombies, werewolves,
We're gonna have
we
to
thought
add
of it
different-
all.
We got storyline, plot lines. The name
love
of the
it.
sequel is was it?
Slay another day,
Another
slay.
day, another sleigh. That's gonna be the name of the sequel. That's what we came to.
I absolutely love it. Thank you both for speaking with me. I can't wait for everybody to see Slay exclusively on Tubi. What can we expect next from both of you?
Oh, goodness. Well, my podcast just came back today with Jade Essence Hall, Hall and Closet. So check us out anywhere where you listen to podcasts. You can catch me doing some
On the
big
Super Bowl commercial.
my Elf commercial.
With
that I
Elf, with
just
Judge
did.
Judy.
And I got a couple other projects in the fire right now. I can't technically talk about, but you will see me real soon everywhere.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I posted a new TikTok today, so make sure you go watch my TikTok. But yeah, otherwise just the internet. I'm traveling around all the time.
She's a working gal, honey. She got business.
Thank you, Heidi, Crystal. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your time. I love Slay, and I can't wait for everybody to see it.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congrats. Heidi and Closet and Crystal Methyd. They are hysterically funny, super creative. I'm so glad I got the chance to talk to them. And I am so glad that I was able to watch Slay. I'm telling you, horror fans, comedy fans, drag fans, it's a great film that you can watch exclusively on Tubi. And, by the way, let's not forget that, and there's always an opportunity to slay again. And I really hope that they do that because, it's just a great team, great cast, very smart, very funny, and it's so enjoyable. So hit me up. Go see Slay. Watch Slay on Tubi. Let me know what you think about it. I want to discuss it. I want to know what you think. And let's talk Slay and pop culture. All right. That is our show for this week. Short and sweet, has been my nickname a time or two. But in any event, that's all for this week. Hit me up. I'll see you next week. I love you. We out.
Thank you for listening to Pop Culture Weekly. Hear all the latest at popcultureweekly.com.
Slay queens, slay queens. All of you queens, you can be so mean to the vampires. Slay. 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 Slay.